Hello, my name is Prime, and welcome back to ATS Showcases, and today we are here in the Texas DLC once again, just outside of San Antonio at this wonderful little farm down here, and we're going to head over to Houston, Texas today, and we are hauling this JCB tractor, the Fast Track to be exact, on our oldable lowboy trailer, just a single trailer today with our Kenworth W900, a day cab configuration in this wonderful red paint job here, and it looks really good with the chrome. I've gone a little bit all out on the customization of it, but the focal point of today's video and the wonderful thing powering this W900 is the absolutely amazing Cat C12 Engine MOD by Jerry, a free engine mod that is available on the Steam Workshop, so I'll have the link for that down in the description below. And before I continue talking about this wonderful engine mod, I'm going to let you hear it first. And that, my friends, is what you call an amazing sounding engine. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on the road. Hopefully everyone's doing well. I certainly am. Great to be back here at ATS, and wonderful to be running another engine mod. One by Jerry, a fantastic engine author on the Steam Workshop these days. Just absolutely releasing a ton of top-notch engine mods out there, and other sound mods as well, but specifically the engine mods. I've been doing plenty of his work here around the channel. I've got plenty of videos in the past I've done on them. Absolutely fantastic. A range of engine types, but today's the C12. Now, for those who watched the previous episode of ATS Showcases, you will know I drove a mod International 9400i. However, it had a Cat C12 engine in it. But it doesn't compare to this, that is for sure. An excellent mod overall. However, the C12 engine within it, as far as I know, is technically just the stock American Truck Simulator version. I realized in the video I said something about it being potentially an engine mod, but I couldn't quite tell. As far as I know, it is just the C12 that's in ATS normally, I believe because of the Kenworth W900 rework, or maybe wrong on that once again. But anyways, point is, this is a proper C12, my friends. Not to knock on the sounds that are in ATS, nor the one in the previous mod I just mentioned, but this is a true Cat C12 engine sound, and a fantastic one indeed. The turbo sounds, the absolute rumble of this Cat engine. It's a classic. It is one that is very popular and used in many vehicles around, well, the world, but specifically in transports and other commercial related industries, but or power equipment, I should say. But it is fantastic to finally have it here in ATS in a mod form. At least for me, checking it out. I've done the C15 and a number of other Cat engines. However, with the C12, this is a first for me, and it's very good indeed. I know I'm going to talk about, or talk around it, and of course talk over it quite a bit during this video, so please excuse me for that one. But that is just a bit of the style of these videos. For those who are here or around here quite frequently, you will know that's kind of my jam. But I will try and stop talking, believe it or not, a few times here and there, let you hear it, and of course we'll do some jake brake action at some point. But yeah, it just sounds really good. You know what? We've got a straight stretch. It's not as dangerous for me to do so. Let's do some jake brake. Now that is an aggressive jake brake. Now there are some amazing jake brakes I've covered here with engine mods in the past. Most notably, some of the Cummins engine sounds are pretty gritty when it comes to the jake brake sounds, but a good Cat engine brake is always good indeed. So what other stuff is going to be happening around here, around the channel? Well, plenty of coverage of different mods, and of course other plans I've got for deliveries. All good things, all exciting things around here today. And moving forward, it's got some other games on the horizon as well. Some interesting releases that are coming out later this year as well, which will be something that I'll be checking out. So that is all really neat stuff to come. Obviously, I'm going to try and be a little bit more consistent, or at least try try to in terms of uploads. Going to try and do a bit more now. Things have settled a little bit outside of YouTube for me, so it's a little bit easier for me to do so. And unfortunately, well, this video I was hoping to originally have out. Okay, what you doing, car? Are you going to commit to the overtake? Nope, they are not. Yeah, get back over there, car. You do not want to get smushed by the dump truck. Do not recommend it. Do not recommend it at all. Where was I? Yes, gonna try and do more content a little bit more frequently. Unfortunately, this video was supposed to be over the weekend. My normal Saturday upload for those who are at least watching this upon the day of video release. However, things got delayed, unfortunately, some unforeseen circumstances, so we are here today, and that's all that matters. But unfortunately, this was supposed to be over the weekend. I do appreciate everyone who has been supporting the channel, even in the midst of some of the, well, shall we say, inconsistent uploads, to say the least. But I do appreciate all the support. The support channel's doing fantastic in terms of numbers, although that is, unfortunately, an important part, but also at the same time, let's say not as important to me in some ways, because, well, I enjoy what I do because I enjoy what I do, not because of the numbers. Yes, the numbers are nice. Unfortunately, in the YouTube game, that is also just part of the way the algorithm works. So in some respects, in many ways, just obviously, some of the larger numbers on the channel means that the content goes out to more people, which then more of you can enjoy what I am enjoying, which then makes me happy because I'm able to share what I enjoy so much with more people and build the community. That is the stuff that I really enjoy. All the extra fancy numbers and stuff like that, well, yes, I do have to pay attention to them. Is it the end of the world? No. But I do appreciate all the support nonetheless. You know, sometimes you just have to appreciate the quality of these mods, and considering they are free as well, that is just something that, well, we know and love with American Truck Simulator because of the Steam Workshop. In many ways, the Steam Workshop is a backbone of the ATS modding community. I know there are plenty of other great sites. However, the Steam Workshop is just something for security's sake. At least for me, I've always been just the most comfortable using mods on the Steam Workshop, obviously with a few notable exceptions. It's a security thing. The content that's uploaded there is quite safe, quite reliable as well, easily updated. There's just a number of things that just make the usability of it so great, and something that I would highly recommend everyone check out, especially when it comes to something as an engine mod like this. It's quite literally a download, configure it with your truck. Some of them are a plug and play, basically, where it will just override the sound of an existing engine. This is an additional engine kind of selection, shall we say, so that makes it quite easy that way to select it. Speaking about today's engine, it is not overly powerful. It is quite powerful. However, it is only 475 horsepower today. Actually, the top tuned version of the C15 that is included within the mod or the engine sound itself. There's a few different levels, I believe down to about 270 horsepower if I am not mistaken, and it goes up to, as I mentioned, the 470-ish horsepower, which I'm running today. So I haven't actually noticed the lack of horsepower. It is definitely quite powerful, and I am running an 18-speed transmission in this W900 today, so that also helps things along the way. But overall, it is just a wonderful powertrain. Everything has been just so smooth. Obviously, the mod sounds great, performs great to no surprise. Is available in many different trucks, as far as I know, within ATS, so that is always something I'm very happy to see. However, it's just great to have another engine mod covered here in ATS, and especially one that has the quality as this one does. So there's going to be a bit more around here, as I mentioned, with some content. Obviously, ATS is changing quite a bit, and I've decided, you know what, to come back with Texas a little bit here. Now I've got to actually get over here. You going to let me go over here? Use my mirrors that may or may not have a more realistic FOV on it, by the way. Something I did not notice. I have returned to the realistic FOV mod. A little bit of sidetrack before I continue on with what I was going to say. realistic FOV mirrors here today. Wonderful mod. Really should have enabled it earlier. Did not. Kind of got lost in the massive list of mods I have in the overall list of subscribed mods, shall we say, for ATS. But enabled it again. It is honestly a staple. Everyone, I would highly recommend you check it out. Absolutely fantastic. Makes things so much more realistic, and can't say enough praise about it. Very, very good mod overall. But anyways, decided to come back here. Better not rear-end that car ahead of us here. Decided to come back to Texas. There's a lot of great new areas. Obviously, I was over in California more recently, and then into Nebraska, quite obviously, with it being the most recent release. But I wanted to come back to Texas. Is it something that, well, Texas is a wonderful state, so diverse, and this is actually a route that we have not done before, believe it or not. And if you're looking at or been a keen eye on the initial map at the beginning of the video, or the GPS as I've been driving along here, you will notice that, well, yes, this is a route that I really haven't done, or at least only sections of, so it's really neat to be able to explore it once again, or I should say for the first time in Texas, but it is such a large state and so much to offer, and I wanted to come back to the JCB pack. Obviously, this is part of the JCB DLC, for those who may be wondering how I have a JCB Fast Track on the back of my truck. Yes, this is a part of the mod, or not part of the mod, part of the DLC. There we go. Get my expansions correct. Part of the DLC. Wonderful DLC indeed. Brings in a bunch of different JCB equipment. There's also a Volvo equipment DLC out there as well. However, this JCB equipment has everything from some of the construction to, well, this, including the JCB Fast Track, which is a farm tractor, which is really cool. A very neat addition. And yes, just on a simple ownable lowboy trailer today. I generally, with these videos, go quite over the top. Big trucks, long trailers, just kind of chaotic. I mean, or in some ways just simple. Generally, it's the biggest options available. For those who have been watching a while, you will know that that's generally the way I do these showcases. However, it's great to kind of dial it back a little bit, and in this case, it was matching the engine to a truck and trailer that just makes some sense. I knew this mod before I even started up the truck when I was doing the prep for this video. I already knew this mod was going to sound fantastic based on the track record of Slav Jerry and the other cat engines I've covered from him here on the channel. So, given what I was kind of expecting from the C12, I was like, okay, I need a truck that maybe isn't the biggest overall. Doesn't need to be crazy big, but it needs to be something in the Kenworth line most likely, or something at least that offers cat engines in theory, or could have had the potential to have a C12 in it, which as far as I know the W900s, kind of the lower tiers day cabs would. Correct me if I'm wrong once again, but it is great to be here in the W900, and that's why I chose it. And then, of course, pair it with a trailer that, well, is just a single for once, and not having a dolly, or two dollies, in fact, for the full triple configuration. It's just nice to have something, well, that I can actually reverse into a spot without maybe giving myself a headache, which would be fantastic. Or making me quit in some ways, actually, where I just kind of give up because there's no point trying to reverse, for example, a double if I mess it up, because there is not a chance, especially if it's a dolly double, which I think is a Rocky Mountain double, if I'm correct. It's just bad news. Just bad news overall. So something a little bit more straightforward for me. But just something I think a little bit different as of late as well. I know I've done a lot of the longer deliveries or just simple box trailers, so it's nice to do something, well, unique, but also a little bit more straightforward as well. And I think a lot of you will appreciate it, that is for sure. So as we get closer to Houston today, as we're kind of went through or past at least Victoria, and head down to Houston, it's just once again really nice to be back here in Texas, and we can bypass the way station. That is absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. We'll try not to kind of drift across the lanes here. It's really nice to be back here in Texas, and obviously we're going to try and move around the map a little bit more here, and I've got a few ideas for things that will be coming. In fact, maybe potentially a revival of a series here on ATS. I'll let you, for those who have been around here a while, you'll most likely know what that series is, but for those who maybe do, just take a gander back in the history of the channel. Maybe just take a look and see what you can find here on ATS, and there may be a revival here. So keep an eye out on for the next, well, let's say for foreseeable future here, for some interesting content. And also on the community page of the channel, keep an eye out for polls and a few other things coming along the line to kind of spur some discussion, shall we say, and just get some, I want to get some feedback on from you and have you interact with what that series will be, at least very much in the setup and as it goes on, most likely as well. So it's going to be very interesting. I've got a few gears turning up in my head at this point of what I want to, or what I want to envision it being, so it's going to be really quite neat, and highly recommend keeping an eye out here on the channel for that one, among other great things as well. As I mentioned, there is a lot of good things happening here in American Truck Simulator, and of course around here on the channel, so it's going to be great to see what happens. I won't lie, it's been a little bit quiet in terms of, and we need to go this way, yes we do, it's been a little bit quiet in terms of news for American Truck Simulator. There has been a little bit of news in terms of, well, just shall we say behind the scenes of some content that we have already had released. But in terms of new content, obviously we are still awaiting the arrival of what would be Arkansas. Yes, it goes Arkansas, Missouri, then Iowa. I have to try and drill that back into my brain here now that we're actually lane merged there. Got to drill that into my brain as the new trio of states upcoming instead of the whole Kansas and Nebraska, because I still will nearly, well, I'll sometimes slip when I'm trying to do, say, a Prime News video and have to redo that line, or in these videos as well, nearly just say, for example, saying or talk about Nebraska coming out. Well, Nebraska is already out, my friends, and in fact, I've done a bunch of videos on it. Unfortunately, I just sometimes kind of default back to the most common phrases and things I've said in recent times. And, well, Kansas and Nebraska took up a lot of time of that talking from countless Prime News videos and, of course, showcases alike. It's been a lot. So trying to drill in the Arkansas, Missouri, and Iowa trio is something that I'm going to be working on quite a bit. So bear with me if I do mess that one up. However, Arkansas, we're learning a bit more about Arkansas, and given the sizes of these upcoming states, we'd like to assume that we'll be getting them more frequently. Will that be reality? I don't know. We can always hope, right? That's kind of what the community has to do. We have to kind of hope that, well, it's going to be coming sooner than later, and I have a feeling they will. However, the quality of these states are absolutely fantastic every single time we get a blog post, especially around the nature of some of these blog posts, whether that's Arkansas, Missouri, or Iowa. It just blows my mind to see the quality of the visuals within these regions. And it also begs the question, when are we getting the engine revamp? As you may be able to see, even just within this video, everything does look really good. I am very fortunate to be able to have equipment that can run the game quite well and upscale it. For example, technically upscaling to 4K. But that is not the case for everyone, and at the same time, there are a number of settings, albeit they have been slightly improved as of in recent times. There's a lot of settings in the engine overall that really need some work, and, well, that is something that we're supposed to be getting with a revised game engine. When will that be coming? I have no clue, unfortunately. Would I like it to come sooner than later? Yes. Do I have a magic ball? No. I have no idea when that is going to be coming. We're going to actually go across this way. Why not? Probably supposed to stop, but we're not going to. We're not going to. That's fine. So where are we supposed to go? Well, we got to go through here and then kind of loop our way around, I guess. So that's fine. Just saying, really loving the true FOV mirrors here. Absolutely fantastic to be able to actually use the normal mirror or the large upper mirror and then the lower mirror for the wide angle. Beautiful. And then obviously the hood mirrors as well have been quite handy in today's video, given this truck. So we have to go around there. Do we have the ability to swing around this area here? I think we do. I am actually going to do this smart. And thank you to everyone who has been commenting on recent videos telling me about non-blindside reversing and agreeing that it is so much easier. I do know this. However, I generally do not like to... of course, there's a trailer parked where on this side, so I can't just drive through. I generally rush trying to deliver things, and that's a habit that I have that I kind of need to change. Oh, we just clipped the curb. Good thing I own the trailer. Luckily, the tractor's fine. That's good. Concrete barrier should be fine. Didn't look like it took any damage. However, I generally know. I understand that the blindside reversing is just a pain, and I know a lot of you can do it who are real-life truckers. However, I am not a real-life trucker, nor am I generally speaking skilled. I'm pretty good at reversing. I will give myself some credit, but I am not going to take, by all means, crazy credit for my skills here at ATS, because they're not that great, let's be honest, and I think I may have been a little too close. Yeah, I've messed up the angle here, so we're gonna try and of course, classic Prime Simulation blunder of a setup here. I could have got the trailer in a lot earlier, and I'm gonna do so from a bit farther out. I'm gonna start to turn in earlier. Keep the angle a little bit more shallow, or just full send it. I don't know at this point. We'll just go with it. We're getting close to that trailer again, but we're in a better position, I think. Yes. I think we're in a better position to keep it rotating around, potentially. Oh, we got that trailer there. We're gonna jackknife. Okay, well, we can go forward and this way a little bit, get the truck turned slightly. We gotta just feather it around this trailer here, and then we'll have to do a slight readjustment. Yes, we'll have to do a slight readjustment and realign, but we can actually do so in this spot that's directly ahead of us here. So we're gonna try and just go ahead, go between the trailers, and then be very careful as we reverse. Actually, and I'll just go ahead all the way up here. Let's see what we can do. Can I get it to come back without taking out the trailer up front? It's going to be very close if I can. It's going to be very close without hitting the back or the front corner of that trailer. We're going to have to wiggle it in here, folks, I think. Okay, let's try and cut it back. Back this way. Not that the extra revs are going to do it. Oh, well, it will take it. You know what? That's honestly not awful. It's not awful. Is it great? No. Is it doable? Yes. Okay, I think we'll leave it at that. Thank you all so much for watching. What a great episode. Great to be back here in ATS. And of course, there'll be more content from me here around the channel. Comment down below what else you want to see me do, whether it's a certain mod, maybe it's a truck mod, whether it's a different delivery. Let me know, different spot on the map. And once again, keep an eye out here on the channel for different types of videos that are coming out that are going to be quite interesting, at least in my opinion, and also for some of the engagement side that I'm going to be trying to include you, the viewer, in to help dictate a series. So that's going to be really cool. Once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.